Hello. This is an important message. You are watching Cover Stories.
No, he didn't just escape from Never Neverland to corrupt the young girl named Wendy. He's just younger than he looks. He's actor and comedian Daniel Eachus. The last royal flush he had was right after eating at Burger King. He's actor and comedian Della Valle. It's been 2 months and he still has that new dad smell. Put your hands together for actor and comedian Homayoon. Well, it's been a couple weeks since we complimented her on her looks, and why ruin a hot streak? Here's my hilarious co-host, Melissa Greenberg. He floats like a jellyfish and stings like an eel. Get ready for the rumble in the reef, because this sea creature likes to pack an octo punch. That's right. There's footage of a octopus who likes to apparently go around punching everybody. And let's see, I think we have a clip of it right here. Okay, that's wrong octopus. Here we go. We could actually talk about this while we let this play, because this goes on for a long while. And as you can see by this footage, this little prick just goes around bopping other fish and stuff. I don't know what his problem is, but apparently don't call this guy an octopussy. So you know what, Jimmy, we'll go to you. You're a big guy. So, you know, how do you take down a guy with 8 arms? Like, this dude just looks nuts, man.
Well, you know what? I just had to point this out right away. What is Melissa doing at the bottom of I'm the fish that keeps swimming up and she keeps cracking them.
You're implying the octopus doesn't have a reason. Maybe there's a reason.
Okay. No. So your question was, what would I do?
You got 8 arms coming at you. Yeah.
With 8 arms coming at me. I mean, I of course, you know, I've watched a lot of Cobra Kai lately, so you know, I do the thing.
Right.
I mean, it would be terrifying. I have thought. Do you remember like fighting? And of course, you know, Melissa always comments on how I talk about people. But remember fighting the effeminate kid in school? He's like, he would fight like this.
He does the windmill, yeah.
Yeah, he would give it. You're like, come on, man, and he's like, you're like, you know, that's how you fight an octopus.
I like how Daniel laughed uncomfortably at that reference.
Why are you fighting why are you fighting the effeminate guy? Like, what's wrong with you?
Well, no, because
who does that?
So here's the thing. Of course, I'm bigger now, but I used to be Daniel's size for.
Why am I the example?
Exactly.
Why am I the fish here?
Well, because Tim is fatter now. Tim used to be skinny too. And I would literally get picked on by everybody. Even though I was like popular, I still got like picked on because I was teeny. Like I was really like I was literally like 4'11" in high school, and then in 1 year I grew like 11 inches. Like people were like, so the next year people were like, oh my God, are you kidding? Like what happened? And they're like, you know, then of course they joked with the Brady Bunch. Did you stretch yourself? You know, whatever. But so I was really teeny, really skinny, almost like you could see my ribs through like Daniel.
Hard to imagine.
So I got bullied a lot, and it would be either the effeminate or it'd be the tough kid or whatever it was, and I had to fight back. I fought probably every day, if not every other day in school, and I was constantly in suspension.
Maybe it was something you said to everybody.
You know, back then I actually wasn't very quick like that, like I am, like a master off the cuff. So anyways, it's a true story.
So, Daniel, I'm going to give you a chance to
rebuttal.
Yeah, I'm going to let you defend yourself on this.
Channel your inner octopus, Daniel.
Now, were you the same? Were you the same size your entire life, or when you were in high school, did you look like you were in kindergarten? And
I just like how you started this off by being like, hey guys, feel free to share this when it comes out and tell everyone you did this. And then it's starting out and it's like, I used to get beat up a lot. You know, like Daniel probably did. You know, you can see my ribs like Daniel. Why would I share this? No one's seeing this.
It's evidence evidence for later when you tell the world, like, look at how big of an asshole Ace is. Look what happened to me when I appeared on his show. No,
I just like the idea that, like, aren't octopuses supposed to be super smart, right?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
aren't they one of the smartest? And it's just funny to me, like, the smarter you are as an animal, the more likely you're just gonna, like, devolve into violence for no reason, like senseless. Like, other dumb animals don't do that. They're just like, I'm only going to eat this person to survive. But then you get smart and you're just like, oh, I could punch people for no reason.
Yeah.
Let me try that.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny you say that. I actually watched a thing about that, and it was about aliens. And if we ever had alien visitors and stuff, that most likely they would be violent because if nature teaches you anything, usually the higher the intelligence of a creature, the more predatorial it is. And it basically, it's just, and you kind of see that, like if you see like really like intense serial killers or something, they're usually high IQ people. Like, it's really weird. So it's kind of funny you bring that up because, yeah, that's a bit scary that this octopus knew what it was doing, basically. So
I don't know.
What?
At the same time, though, it's like we're looking at the video being like, how dare that octopus punch that fish? But then meanwhile, we like fish for fish, catch them with a metal hook in their mouth, stab them, and then throw them back.
Right? Swim and spear them in some places.
Right.
Tim, I would probably say, isn't this more or less the Alec Baldwin of sea creatures?
They're more like the Mike Tyson of sea creatures. They got 8 arms, punching. If you get into a fight with octopus, go for the legs because they didn't do the leg workout.
Go for the legs.
But they are, they'd be good MMA fighters in the sea because they put you in a hold and they got the suction. You ain't getting out of that.
All right. Oh, luckily we avoided the video I was going to show. It was about a girl that was trying to eat a live octopus live on YouTube. Yeah. And it grabbed her face and started pulling at her. Like, I was like, that's awesome, dude.
She earned that.
Yeah, she did. She totally did. Melissa, so I saved you for last because I knew you were foaming at the mouth for this because you wanted to take some swings. How about is Jimmy the Blowfish you're itching to take a swing at?
You make it sound like I look for confrontation. My mother says I'm a foot looking for an ass to kick. I don't think that's a fair assessment.
Mother knows best. Listen to your mumsy. Yes.
No, I'm minding my own business, and you want to shake a stick in my cage? Surprise! You get what you get. And did you notice those fish still kept swimming around like they were in his space? Yeah. So he needed to, cut a bitch.
Yeah. He was like paparazzi.
Fishes be tripping. He needed to send a message.
It was paparazzi around that fish.
Take advantage of him and think, they start calling him stuff like grandma or I don't know, effeminate, or I don't know, whatever some asshole fish might say to some imaginary octopus, Jimmy. I don't know. It's just
I was wondering how long it was going to be before Jimmy chimed in on that because he just looked staring blankly at Paige.
No, I had to say it slower.
Well, I've never even used the word effeminate, only for this joke. In fact, I got to look up the vocabulary on it. I don't really know. But I guess it Daniel. You said it was Daniel, and I don't think I watched this special. He's just skinny. Doesn't mean he's effeminate.
No, the
You
best part.
referenced him.
The best
Huh?
part is we
Because I
tease
said it was
we
skinny.
tease Daniel, but the best part is he probably is the most martial artist of this whole group here. Like he probably could
Oh my
totally
God,
take us out with a
awesome.
throat punch. Dude.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
d-
the octopus
Yeah,
for sure,
yeah.
and by that
I am.
I spew ink at people. That's what I mean by that. If you try to touch me,
And the octopus has like a little spiky mouth. Like
Like a beak. It's got a beak.
My
yeah.
brother, beak. Thank you.
The
My
beak.
brother used to have
Spiky
these things in a
mouth.
tank.
Spiky mouth.
Yeah,
It's got a spiky mouth.
yeah,
got a
that
little
was right through
At
the
Garrison Beach in Brooklyn, we had the octopus with the spiky mouth.
Nah, we had horseshoe crab.
The spiky mouth. Okay. I think that's called like herpes or something. All right.
The problem with the octopus too is that they can't. It's not like the fish can punch back. I mean,
yeah.
they get a little fin. That's about it.
And I said, okay,
Okay, we're going to move on to the next segment. The next segment is going to be some Express news from around the world. Espresso News with Melissa Greenberg.
Our first story comes from Brazil. The inside of this rock looks just like Cookie Monster, and it's worth a lot of dough. A gemologist in Brazil found a geode, and when they cracked it in half, no
What the
lie,
hell?
yeah,
Cookie Monster.
yeah, and
This is far.
the guy got offers for like over $10,000 for this thing.
And that's a what?
and-
It's a rock?
It's a geode, like when you crack them in
Like the-
half.
Yeah. Like
Oh,
those,
wow.
the crystal thing. Yeah.
Yeah, does that help?
Yeah. That's awesome, man.
Yeah, well, and there's two of them. So like you crack it in half. There's like, anyway.
1, 2. Yeah, we're gonna
It's
be here all
the Cookie Monster agate. They're calling it.
no, they didn't. It feels like a missed opportunity to call it a Fraggle Rock or something.
Oh,
There's
very,
something there.
Daniel, very
very
clever.
And,
That's
awesome.
the
dude.
cleverness.
Yes.
Cookie Monster weighed in on Twitter. me no geologist, but me think that rock look a lot like me. And that's-
So
yeah,
I was gonna say that was a pretty good one. Who was that supposed to be? Louis Armstrong.
I don't think it'll get me on SNL.
I see chocolate chip, oatmeal chew.
I love you. And I love
I see Oreo cookies and I want some too.
Oh no.
That's an awesome Fraggle Rock. That's an awesome joke. I don't know what's cooler, the joke that Daniel just made or the rock. That was awesome.
It's good. Girl Scout cookie season, also. By the way, just these little, they can do it online now.
You have a better
Very
chance of finding a Cookie Monster rock than a Girl Scout walking around selling cookies right now, to be honest.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, that guy got offers of over $10,000 for that rock.
Most expensive pet rock ever.
Right?
Yeah. Pet rock,
Okay.
dude. That guy
Did we
made
get-
$1 million off of the stupidest invention ever.
There wasn't a lot going on in the world this week.
It was
You know, we're
Cookie
watching
Monster
paint
rock.
dry. Watching paint dry, rocks crack in half. You know,
We've come a long way from like seeing Jesus in toast. You know what I mean? Now we're seeing Cookie Monster in rocks.
When I'll see Cookie Monster and rocks, yeah.
I would say most people believe in Cookie Monster. Okay, this next story, we're putting the fun in funeral. Gravediggers get down and dirty at international competition. Funerals are grave experiences, grave digging competitions, not so much, at least not in Slovakia, where the second annual International Grave Digging Championships took place this week. So there were 11 two-member teams from Slovakia, Poland, and Hungary, and it was who could dig the best grave in the fastest time. And it has to be 5 feet deep, 6.5 feet long, and 3 feet wide.
And then they buried last year's winner.
So apparently they're keeping 6 foot distance, huh?
Right?
Yeah.
Well, let's just say they're dead serious about this competition.
Waka, waka, waka.
Mm-hmm.
It was a graveyard smash. Yeah.
Can you imagine being? I was gonna say, can you imagine being the best of the world? It's something no one's ever gonna see. You know what I mean? Like, no one is ever gonna see the inside of this grave ever. Like, why? Who cares? You know?
Right? They're well, I think that's why they had the competition, was so people could see what a difficult job it is. But you're saying like if you're buried in it, like you can, this is nice. This is really nice.
Right.
I should have went with the different tiles. Yeah, that kind of complaint.
There's a lot of gravel, you know.
It's dirty.
Did you just get heckled by your phone?
I mean,
That's not my phone.
Yeah.
Daniel, put it on airplane mode.
I didn't know.
Not me.
I didn't know you could get hecklers on a jitterbug phone. Yeah. So some guys from Slovakia won, age 43 and 41 respectively. They dug a perfect grave in 54 minutes.
54 minutes?
Yeah.
To dig a grave? Like a perfect grave?
Yeah. That's kind of impressive.
They like the mafia dreams of guys like this, dude. Like 54 minutes is impressive. That's crazy.
Get in, get out.
Yeah. Hey, look. Here's a leg. Here's a wing. What do you want? The leg or the wing?
What's sad is it's a little bit too relevant for COVID times, you know? Like, can we get those grades dug a little faster? Like, this is a little too soon to have this competition.
Yeah. I know 2 guys. We'll get them over here real quick.
Yeah.
I love Daniel's background. I want to book him for a commercial. Such a great audition. As soon as he pops up, I'm like, oh my God, this dude's auditioning. This is it looks amazing.
Are you guys going to hire me? Or?
Yeah, we're going to do a photo shoot after the show, after the episode. Melissa, did you have another one just in case? Or
no, that was it. That was everything that I saw that was going on in the world that I felt you guys would care about.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have the article with me, but the one that I didn't pick was there is a gin made out of elephant dung. There's always a food story each week, and it's always something disgusting because we've run out of stuff to eat and drink, and so apparently we have to make up new disgusting things. But there's a couple with, of course, no alcohol brewing experience whatsoever, but they found that the elephants on this conservatory or the sanctuary that they had were eating nothing but grasses and botanicals, and half of it doesn't get digested. So it comes out the elephant.
Right.
Still botanical. Like, I don't know why you can't just pick the botanicals and make the gin out of that. But they're taking the processed botanicals, the elephant dung, and they're making gin out of it. And
has it got a peanut flavor?
$34 a bottle. And
44.
I'm clearly doing something wrong.
44 a bottle?
$34 a bottle.
34. Oh.
And to be fair, I mean, some of the money goes to animal preservation for endangered species and stuff. But yeah, I'm doing something wrong.
You know, it'd be great is drinking it out of a tusk. You're just like, yeah, can I have some of that
Ivory?
elephant?
Yeah.
Some of that elephant gin. No, it's weird though. It depends on the animal. A lot of the times people don't realize, like for example, like horse poop. Horse poop is actually super clean. It's not really even that contaminated because all they eat is hay and their digestive tract is really clean anyways. And so when they poop it out, it's just compacted hay. And it's like, it's kind of weird, but it's like, so I can imagine an elephant that's eating nothing but, pure stuff like that being a pretty clean waste, so to speak. And then,
Why do you know this, Ace?
I know, this is insane.
Yeah.
You know a lot of weird shit.
Yeah, I like animals. I learn a lot about animals, and just because.
It's like Bear Grylls. You ever watch Bear Grylls, where he used to take the elephant shit and he'd drink from it or whatever.
Yeah.
And then he would do disgusting stuff, and then he'd go to a restaurant, drop his fork. He's like, "I need another one."
Yeah. Hey, you know what? Hey, that's me, man. I'm not even kidding, dude. I'm the same way. It's just like if someone brushes against me, I like burn my clothes. But yeah, the same thing. It's like if I have to drink out of a nasty river, I'll go for it. I get it. Okay,
I don't understand why you have to pass the botanicals to the elephant first.
Probably enzymes and all kinds of other stuff that the animal itself creates.
So get some enzymes.
No, well, I'm just saying as an example, it's probably something that's very specific to the animal. I don't know. It happens. As I'm saying that, my animal's over here just crunching all super loud her food. Okay. This week, this has been Espresso News with Melissa Greenberg this week.
I apologize.
It was a week. All right. Well, the best one, Yeti. Here we go. An Oklahoma state representative introduced a bill to establish a hunting season for the infamous Bigfoot. Now, you have to follow all the protocols as you would any other hunting. You need a proper license, and it has to be seasonal. Not too many people were pleased by this story. We actually saw some Sasquatches, big feet. I don't know what you would call more than one. We caught up with a few, and they were pretty upset about it. They were protesting. I believe we have footage of one of them here.
I had crazy reports about me, and it does. You do feel like you have to defend yourself in every aspect, but you don't. And, we as a family, we are so strong together, and we've...
Wait, sorry, wrong one. It's this one.
That's just disturbing.
I had a great time doing research for this story, to be honest. Oh, wrong clip. Look at me.
Oh, this guy again, the robot guy.
So apparently I was alone on that Khloe Kardashian Yeti joke. So, and you guys thought that was funny. Come on, man. OJ's daughter? Nothing? All right.
It's not OJ's daughter.
That's so OJ's daughter. Look into it.
You're going there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm not the only one. I mean, come on. You can.
Wow.
Yeah. You look at those. You look at that family tree, and then you notice the plant that came in next to it, and you're like, hey. Let's see, Melissa. Did you ever? This is stupid. I didn't really prep any questions for this. I was so amused that there was going to be I was so amused that there was going to be a Bigfoot hunting season. Melissa, do you ever watch any of these like Bigfoot shows, like where they're just out and about?
Purpose?
Like it's, huh?
on purpose.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, I mean, I've caught them where and they're so serious.
Yeah,
just really like, and I think like it's so smart of the government to like, yeah, you're going to need a license for that. Like how many? Is there a cap on how many big feet they can bring back?
Right. Actually,
right?
I think there was something to do with but there had to be a reasonable. I think a reasonable size. It couldn't be young or something like that.
Well, I used to have a place in upstate New York, and like there was all the hunting seasons. There, like you could only use a bow and arrow for one season, and
right?
Like so, like crossbow season. Like I don't know, and there were limits, and they had to be a certain age. So yeah, I mean, I don't know how many big feet per person, but I think it's important.
It's funny though, like you said, the government's smart about it. I think the people that make those shows are smart about it. There's a creature that there's no evidence of, like, we don't have any bones or like actual like hunted or deceased, I should say, Bigfoot creatures in existence, but yet we have series that maintain seasons. Like you get season 3 of like some kind of Bigfoot hunting show or something, and like they never have to provide results. They just go,
"We are so stupid."
Yeah, there's a stench and it's coming from that way, and then they march off that way, and that's a whole hour-long episode. Daniel, I think you've done a couple of stuff like this, like parody videos, didn't you?
Oh, yeah, parody show. Yeah, a show called Bigfoot Chasers. It was about exactly that. It just makes me so sad for humanity, really, hearing that story. Because look, believe it, don't believe it, whatever. This is a creature that none of us know if it exists or not. And our master plan is to send out a group of rednecks to go find it. That's our plan? For an animal we don't know is real? By the way, Oklahoma, do they even have like Oklahoma? I don't know if anyone is watching from Oklahoma, but Oklahoma, fix your roads first. How about that? Like, they have the worst streets I've ever seen in my life.
Right.
Don't go Bigfoot. I don't know.
That's what the license money is going for. The license money. Fill enough licenses
to fix their streets. Well,
dude, they have tolls everywhere, and it's the worst roads I've ever been. I'm like, isn't this what this is supposed to be for? I don't know. I'm off topic, but yeah, I agree with you, Ace. Every one of those shows deserves an Emmy for
right?
somehow convincing people, because they're all basically episodes of Scooby-Doo at this point. Like, oh, big hairy creature. Oh, wait, it's just a dude in a mask. I would have gotten away with it, too, if it weren't for you meddling rednecks.
The meddling redneck. Hilarious.
Yeah, you're right. Tim, what would you do if someone gave you, like, a souvenir? Like, they hunted and they gave you, like, Bigfoot's head to hang on your wall. Or his foot. Like...
yeah, I would put it with the rest of the yard sale behind me. Put his head over here. But I'm kind of against that they can just hunt Bigfoot. I think they should change the rules. They should do it only if Bigfoot could hunt them back, and it's mating season. So, maybe he's he's got them big feet, so he can run fast and other things. I won't explain the other one, but it's Oklahoma. I feel bad. There's a bunch of hairy, naked campers that are going to get shot because trying to enjoy nature. And I think he needs a mate. That's his problem, Bigfoot. He's got to get out more. Maybe he could adopt a highway and then gets his name there. And then they go, look, if he's near his highway, you can't touch him. Or he could shave, put some overalls, and no one in Oklahoma is going to recognize him. They're just going to think he's one of the guys. So I do feel bad, but I mean, look at America. We steal land from the natives. We got slaves. Then we're attacking our big feet people. A lot of problems in America.
Driving down Harry Henderson Highway. Yeah. So speaking of shaving Bigfoot and passing him off as an average Joe, Jimmy, what What's your take on
In
this?
Brooklyn, out the back of our truck. You need a Bigfoot. I got a fucking Bigfoot over here. You know what I mean?
Do you watch those shows too, by the way?
Really hard to masturbate to them.
Yeah.
But I mean, every once in a while I flip through it. I never understood the whole, okay, you got your Bigfoot, you've got your Yeti, you've got, what's the other one called? Like in Canada?
Sasquatch.
And then the Mexicans call them Chupacabra. So
what that means?
No,
right?
Chupacabra. No, Chupacabra is a completely different animal.
Yeah, but
That's a man bear pig, right?
you know what's hilarious about?
I'm thrilled, guys.
Hilarious about the way you just defended it. Like Chupacabra's real too. Like, no. Chupacabra's real, bro. Okay,
I seen him, man.
Proof, man.
He ate my chickens.
Yeah. That's the craziest thing about the Bigfoot thing is I never was a hunter or anything, but every time and of course I've been in Costa Rica and I've been all over the world, you know, and I like to go in jungles and shit like that. And I literally am, if I'm alone, I'm fucking terrified that Bigfoot is gonna get me. Like if I'm taking a piss or I gotta take a shit and wipe my ass with a leaf, I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna die.
How would you defend yourself?
So,
well, and then I do it, and then Bigfoot's effeminate. He's like,
you know, it's funny you say that. Okay, so I have several issues with the Bigfoot TV shows when they're chasing him around, because one of them is like what you just said. They get terrified and they go like, oh, I thought I heard it, and they get freaked out. And I'm like, because you know how many documented cases there are of someone being mauled to death by Bigfoot? Like zero. Why would you ever be scared that you're the first person in history, like in human history, to ever be mauled to death by Bigfoot? The other thing is the confidence that they have whenever, like we were watching one the other night, and it was funny because there was a deer carcass, and deer, that's the number one food source of Bigfoot. And it's just like a fucking creature we've never seen ever. And we know it's food source.
Vegan.
Yeah, I know, exactly. Look at bears bears eat basically
Berries and
plants
insects.
and stuff, but they also eat fish, you know. So but yeah, they're not going around hunting, you know, they're not looking for deer and stuff like that. So and usually generally these bigger creatures have a tendency to be plant-based. I mean, yeah, it's Bigfoot doesn't look like a predator.
You know,
and
no, I wanted to say the one thing I remember looking up. This is how far-fetched the Bigfoot idea is. I remember one day watching the Biggie Smalls, Tupac, and the murder of Tupac, and you know, and all that stuff. And then I'm like deep Googling, and I'm going deeper and deeper, and then it literally Google goes, oh, if you like that, maybe you'll like the Bigfoot stuff. And I was like, are you kidding me? Like, I'm looking up Tupac, and you're like, well, you know, Bigfoot was seen in Saskatchewan, the Sasquatch, but the Saskatchewan, Canada. I just thought that was hilarious. I was like, oh my God. It's like, so that's how far-fetched it is. It's like nobody believes that.
You know why? It's because you were looking at Tupac, which led you to Biggie Smalls, and Biggie Smalls loves it when you call him Big Papa, and Big Papa is also half of Bigfoot, so therefore that's how it got you to where you were going. So, yeah.
And the one last thing I wanted to say about Oklahoma was they actually had different protocols, COVID protocols. You have to be like 6 Bigfoot apart. I'm so stupid. I just thought it was funny.
No, that was good. I did like that.
I just love.
Yeah, go ahead.
I just love that there's a season now that people could be out there and be like, what are you doing out here? I'm hunting Bigfoot. Oh, that's fine. Wait, whoa. In September? Like,
dude, like, I know. And what do you have to show for it? Like, oh, hey, honey, we're going to be going for a week out to Bigfoot hunting. It's just like she knows he ain't coming back with anything. Like, that's just bizarre if he does, you know? Like and then are other animals
you're
out
me,
of
you're
season?
packing them up. Yeah, go. Yeah, you're gonna need more stuff.
Here's some Bigfoot bait. Yeah.
I also love that, like, the idea of having a permit. Like, no one's ever caught this creature ever, and yet they're like, "Oh, someone's gonna find Bigfoot," and their first question is gonna be, "Whoa, you have a permit for that?"
Right.
Like,
That
I
would
know
be
you
great.
found him, but show us the evidence.
You got to put them back. Like,
Yeah.
No, I just hit him with my car accidentally
And you know,
4 times.
so many, you know, me and Tim have did tons of shows in Canada over the years. You know, we'd always tour together, and we'd see the deer signs or the elk or moose or whatever they are, you know, and then you'd see the Bigfoot sign, and you're like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
They have a Bigfoot sign.
It's just crossing, right? It's just like this. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's like Saskatchewan, Canada. They
Yeah.
really believe, like, they're like, no, I saw him, man. He ate a deer in my backyard. Like, you're like, and they're looking, they're like, and I remember when I first started stand-up, which was 100 years ago, and I remember writing the joke about there's never proof. I used to go on stage, I go, there's no proof. There's not a fucking picture. Yet they probably have tons of us, like the little Bigfoot, the baby, got the camera. He's like, "Pa, take the picture, take the picture." But standing in front of the human.
You know, it's funny you say that though. Okay, so I'm a firm believer that there's species on this planet that we haven't discovered, like big ones, like, and obviously Bigfoot, Loch Ness Monster, all these things. I believe there is some truth to them. But what I don't believe is like that they, you know, constitute having a series of stuff like that. Like, it's just bizarre to me to like again, Oklahoma. I mean, really, like, we have these creatures that are pretty much known for, like, we see them more in you know, like Canada, those areas where it's less population and everything like that. We would have seen them in Oklahoma by now. And I've been to Oklahoma numerous times, and it's, I get that there's a lot of
we've all
forests.
headlined in Miami. They don't say Miami. They go, "You're going to Miami."
Right.
What? Miami, Oklahoma. Spelled like Miami.
Sound like a bad Popeye impression or something.
I'm going to Miami.
The
You're ripping on people's impressions, man. We're trying. Okay. We're trying.
All of a sudden, Ace is the man with 1,000 voices.
Right?
Bigfoot's got me spinach.
yeah. No, so I still like your Cookie Monster rock, man. That
Cookie
Yeah,
Monster
right?
was rock.
But now you've traumatized me and I won't do the impression anymore.
do a Kermit the Frog impression.
Hi ho.
Oh, see, that's good.
Kermit the Frog here.
Ah, that's not bad. What's your
All
best?
right.
What's your best impression, Tim?
You just heard it.
me, I barely got anything. I used to do Christopher Walken like everyone else.
Tim, do your Christopher Walken.
Do
It's
Christopher
great.
Walken.
Whenever I bite into a York peppermint patty, I get the sudden urge, the sensation to just flash a nun. Stick a dog in the ass. I don't know what's in those patties. That's all.
Daniel,
That
what's
was
your...
into my impression career, 1997.
You never know who's going to see this.
Yeah.
Well, okay, you do.
we get hate comments
Our
from
family. Our family.
My family won't watch this.
we get hate comments
My
from
mom would
Christopher
say,
Walken.
Melissa, do you have to?
Is that what your life has become, doing Kermit the Frog on Ace's
You're
show?
you're somebody's mother now.
You spelled espresso wrong. I would think you're better than that.
Well, it's
Hey.
good you're getting paid for it. No, well,
Yeah, well, at least
all
you're
right.
getting paid. Well, I'm not. Actually, I invest in Ace's show every week. I have to drive Uber and Uber Eats. I had to get a COVID test just.
I know it's so funny, man. All I can do is just hope that we'll get some kind of sponsorship before YouTube starts running its ads over us, just killing all our punchlines and everything.
Oh my god!
Daniel, did you have any impressions?
I'm not falling for that trap. No, we started the show. I'm effeminate. You can see my ribs. I look like a fish. I fight like a fish. I'm not doing an impression also. I'm done. Let's talk about how
I haven't seen you in a while. It's good to see you.
He's gonna reach through his cube and poke Jimmy, right in his frame.
Yeah.
Jimmy, what's your
I only
best
break your
impression?
balls because I like you, Daniel. I think you're hilarious. I even messaged you when I saw your special, and you know that.
Way to justify abuse,
I
man.
appreciate it.
No, yeah. By the way, for those of you who don't know who Daniel is, he is hilarious. I do post the links at the bottom of the screen here. For everybody's individual infos, whether it's websites or Facebook pages or anything, you should check him out. He is hysterical, and I swear I think about you all the time whenever I see any kind of MySpace reference. Because I love he's got one of the best MySpace jokes I've ever heard. That's still relevant to this. It's more relevant, I think, now than it's ever been. But yeah, Jimmy, do you have a impression that you would like to share?
Well, I mean, it's so funny because I've been doing the same impression. I actually was almost hired as the new Gilbert Gottfried, the stupid Affleck. And I remember my agent, of course, Steve Smith, he had, he sees my video and, he's booking me on stuff. He goes, maybe you shouldn't say the name of the guy, because I go, oh, yes, I'm Gilbert Gottfried. If you didn't know, I'm Gilbert Gottfried. That's what I'm doing, Gilbert Gottfried. So I would do Affleck. Right, so I would do the stupid thing, and he's like, "Stop saying the fucking name." I go, "I've been doing this since I was like first time," and I almost never do the impression. But when I started working on ships, it was like during the little kids show. You're like, "Oh, what the hell?" Do whatever. Get through your time.
Did the kids ever heckle you? I take that back. I was at one of your shows on the ships where the kids heckled you.
Yeah, well, because they heckle you. The reason they heckle you is because, I used to bring, when I first started, they're like, you can't do the hands with the people behind you, which I've never done in my whole life, but the hack comics do it. They're like, no. Like, nah.
This is my big closer. Yeah.
I don't even do it. So there's comics that will do it for like 20 minutes. And comics that still do it in their act, not going to say their name, but they are in the IE, and they're actually pretty big comic. But anyways,
what is that with the hands? What do you mean?
So, Melissa, you get behind me, and you put your hands. I put my hands in my pocket, and then you put your hands.
Oh, and then I become your hands.
Yeah, you become my hands.
Like a big effeminate octopus.
Yeah. I love your callbacks.
Thank you.
A lot better than the news. All right, so here. I'm joking. So, anyways,
I can read the news.
I see. We all have ADD. Like Daniel lost his spot. I lost my spot. What was I saying, Ace?
About the hands.
Oh my God, Freddie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, you said I had gotten.
You have an agent.
So what happens with little kids? So I used to bring kids up and make them like, "Hey, how you doing?" And I'd make the little kid go, "Hey, forget about it." And I'd have him hit on like an older lady. I go, "You're Italian. It doesn't matter her age." And it was all great. And then I brought up this little kid from Miami, and I go, "All right, so look, just do this and da 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 da." And I was like, just go, "How you doing?" And he goes, "No." And he wouldn't do it. He refused. And it was like ruining, like the show was great and it was just ruining the show. Like sometimes it'll get, a huge applause and he's just ruining. And then I go, so then I look at him, I go, "Get off the stage." And the audience, I go, "I'm not joking." And he gets off the stage. So then I had another time, a little kid, and I don't know if you were there for that one, where sometimes I never bring kids up ever again. Like that was like in the beginning, like years ago. But what happens is the little kid started crying. And this is a PG show. And,
Right.
and his parents pushed him up there and they were twin boys and we're laughing. And then he's crying. I go, "Relax." I go, "Gee, it's like I grabbed you and threw you in my white van." So they laugh and then they groan. It was like, I don't know if you did ships, Daniel, but it's no holds barred. You do whatever you got to do. If another comic, like a comic doesn't care, so many comics will do similar premises about the ship. Or are you doing ship yet?
No, I've done diesel trucks. I've done the back of cars. I haven't.
Nice.
I'm working my way up the transportation game, but no ships.
Are those Rick Rome gigs?
That's funny. I really have done the back of a diesel truck. So I was saying that as a joke, and then as it came out, I was like, "Oh wow, I really did." And my favorite part was I got paid $12.50 with the quarters. Yeah.
Me and Tim.
Wait, hold on really quick. I'm sorry to cut you off. What was that for?
It gets better. It was the grand reopening, which apparently is the grand reopening of a car lot. And I was on my way up to Fresno, and a buddy of mine hit me up, and he was like, "Hey, are you on your way up to Fresno?" I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "Oh man, is there any chance you could do a show like in the next hour?" And he tells me the city, and I'm looking at the map, and I'm like, "Dude, I am an hour away from." It was in the middle of like in between LA and Fresno, and I was like, "Dude, that is the perfect. I could be there at that exact time." He's literally right off the freeway. I was like, all right. He's like, I can't pay much. And I was like, okay. And then I did it, and he hands me an envelope with $12.50.
An envelope. It's the worst envelope with the name on it. You're like, oh, I'll take it.
Yeah.
With the quarters.
2 quarters.
You took the envelope, and you hear that chink chink of quarters. You must have been like, wait, what?
So me and Tim, many years ago in New York City, and man, it's got to be at least 15 years ago. Yeah, no, because I've been here. It's 17, so it's longer than that. And we did. Tim, what did we do? We went from the Lincoln Tunnel. They picked us up. They drove us through the Lincoln Tunnel, and then they put us in a limo. We had our own limo, and then you would go to the toll booth, and you'd have to pay it. And as long as you paid it for like the next 20 cars to go for free, they would give you $75, right? So we had to do that, right? And that was like, and I called, and I said to Tim, I go, I thought we were doing comedy. What the hell is this? So, like, Tim's like, Tim always had these odd jobs. So we did that. And then the guy, so we had like $500. So we're paying the tolls and everything. And I said, Tim, I'm just going to take the 75. And then the guy can just, and Tim's like, no, we got to give the guy the money, and then I'll pay us. Anyways, comedian JJ Boyd, I'll say his name, I don't care. I like JJ, but he never paid us. He never paid any comic. And Tim, what was there, like 60 of us that did it? It was,
I don't know, probably.
It was never paid. Can you believe that, Melissa? We need somebody from Garrettson Beach to get him.
Hey, I was about to bring up a story, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, Daniel, you might have been at this show. Somebody just reposted it recently, Justin Rivera, and we did a show in San Bernardino at a retirement home. Did you do that one?
It sounds about right. Yeah.
I want to say you were at that one. Anyways, Justin had brought it up because he said there was a moment where I was doing I think it was my closing bit, and so they started wheeling out a couple people in wheelchairs, right? And these people were so old, like they were gone, like they weren't really laughing because they were just like like 1 foot in the grave. And so we were doing this retirement home and everything, and they started to wheel them out. So I'm doing my material, and there's zero laughter. It's just blank stares of people sitting in wheelchairs, and even a couple beds. They had a couple beds. And so Justin retweeted it the other day and was all like joking about like, oh yeah, some comics can make a room walk. Ace makes them roll out, And but it was really weird because at the end of that show, which was already super uncomfortable, the nurses had left like halfway through the show, and they ended up leaving just the comedians in the room with these old people. And like, it was a good solid hour of us just being by ourselves. And like, I remember there was this one old guy that was notorious for wandering off the premises. And he kept trying to leave, and I kept trying to like hold him in place. I'm like, no, sir, you can't leave. And he was wandering off into like the street. And there was a groundskeeper that was out there working on some hedges or something. And then he comes over and he like starts helping me like keep the old guy inside. And we're like, where the hell are the staff? Like, where's like the comics? We just put on a show for these people that are like mentally gone, and then we're babysitting them and everything for the next hour. It was crazy. Nothing funny. It was actually real sad, but at the same time, it was just like the most bizarre shows that comics do.
Yeah, I think that's the rite of passage that comics have. At the beginning of their career, you do a ton of those. And that this way, if you survive those, then the rest kind of eases up.
Melissa's, I'm doing one tomorrow.
Oh God, Ace and I have done some amazing shows.
Well, did you see Burr talked about it the other day? I think it was on Netflix. He talked about, they interviewed him or something, or maybe it was on Conan or something like that. Some show. Mm-hmm. And he goes, I remember, I was trying to get sharp for doing the show with Chappelle, because Chappelle has that thing where you go and do shows with him at his place, and it's a huge club, and it's like amazing in Ohio. So he wanted to be sharp. He hadn't been on stage, so he went and started doing in the back of truck shows, like standing in the back of the truck, and he's going, right. Oh my God, I remember how much this sucked back in the day. It's like, and now I'm doing this again. And that's a real comic. I mean,
hey, you know what though? 2020 filtered out the hobby comics versus the actual comedians. Yeah. Because what's weird is you got a lot of comics that are doing they're doing like these live shows that are kind of really bad, but they don't care. It's because they're fiending for stage time and stuff. And whereas you get these other comics that have more of a professional approach towards it, and they'll find the ones that actually do have a packed out like a drive-in movie theater style parking lot, and then you'll get the ones that actually do shows online and stuff. They've morphed. They're so professional that they've figured out how to fit into the next wave of things that came. But it is kind of weird, like because you saw a lot of, we've all seen them, the comics that brag all the time. Oh, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm doing this. And then 2020 hit and you're like, what are you doing? And they're like, nothing. You're like, exactly. Because like there's other comics that are still working in one way or another, some shape or form. But you can't sit there and say, oh, I went to this dive bar and count that as a show because you performed for 4 people that were breaking COVID protocol. Yeah, where they would sit there and go, oh, it's not real. I don't care. I'm not going to wear a mask. And you're just like, yeah, okay. So, like that's the gig you got to do. Like, apparently, like, you know what I mean? You're whether or not you catch it, you're risking your life to do stage time for 4 barflies somewhere. And trust me, I'm all about helping the businesses out and keeping the businesses open. But if you're going to do some weird, shady hole in the wall spot, and then declare that a show, my big show, and it's just like, ugh.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, we're all comics here that have worked. Right. Melissa's the co-host though, but you know what I mean. It's I think you're hilarious, Melissa. I do.
Oh, now you say that, but on social media, you got to see it, Dan. You can wait till you see the post on Facebook. Like the hilarious Dan Eachus. Oh my God. Oh, hilarious. And Tim, so hilarious.
And make sure you check out Melissa. She dyed her hair this week. Yeah,
that's what I was going to say.
She's there too.
I wish I could see it, but I actually have you guys all blocked. So.
I would block them, man. That's a definite. But I'll fight.
Oh shit! You just reminded me, Dan. Oh shit, Daniel! You just reminded me. You didn't sign the waiver. Can we still use this episode? Yeah, no.
For the 20 people that will see it,
Hey, Yeah, I was gonna say, Melissa, I got another message last night about somebody just saying how hysterical they think you are, and they go, "Is Melissa from? Is she out in New York right now?" I said, "No, she's over here on the West Coast." And I was like, "Oh, see, Melissa's got fans."
Nice. You don't share that shit with me, but that's nice.
What for?
Don't be so insecure. That's how I know you're a comic. You're insecure.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, we're all insecure.
No one's laughing at me. No one's laughing.
Listen,
now they're laughing at me. Why are they laughing at me? Yeah. No, yeah, we like, yeah. For anybody,
turn the lights on in your house.
I know. Can I? Well, because this fucking Ace is like, stay on the X, don't move, don't touch your phone, don't scratch your balls.
I know we could always judge the showtime. Whenever Jimmy's on, we watch the sunset in his eyes. Apparently,
did you do one in your car? With a little like the car.
Yeah, Chris Simpson.
Sunset in my eyes.
I'm driving somewhere. I just stopped to do the show.
I remember we had Chris Simpson on it. Chris Simpson was in his car on the way home from somewhere.
But he had a backdrop.
Yeah. It was like, thank God he pulled over to do the show. I was like, Jesus, can you imagine this guy died in a car crash and they said it was our fault or something? I would have lost my mind, dude. Okay. Well, on that note, let's wrap it up here because this is another fun one. I want to make sure we give a hell of a thank you to everyone. Be sure to subscribe and post your comments below. I want to give a huge shout out to all our guests this week: Daniel Eachus, Jimmy Della Valle, Tim Homayoon, and Melissa Greenberg. My name's Ace Guillen, and this has been Cover Stories.
Remember that. Remember that.